How you doing, pals? I just saw the new Godzilla film the other day, and I thought I'd share my thoughts on it, because it seems that everyone on the web has such a different view than me. I've got to get to the bottom of this. Now, I wouldn't call it terrible, but I will say it's confusingly bad. So let's just get right into it. Godzilla felt like two different movies awkwardly trying to fuck each other for 2 hours. And no one gets to come. I don't think I've ever seen a movie fail so massively at trying to establish a tone. The way this movie is put together is just so bizarre and confusing. And I think it could all be because of Bryan Cranston. I think he was actually just too good for this movie, and I'm not just talking about his acting. The movie starts out with him as some kind of nuclear scientist that has to seal his wife in a chamber of death gas due to some kind of accident. Now, this was a really good scene. Unfortunately, it's the only good scene. We cut to 15 years later to find that he's now a washed-up conspiracy nut, trying to prove that what happened 15 years ago was not an accident. And apparently no one believes him, not even his piece of shit son. So at this point I'm thinking, we've got a pretty good main character. Someone with motivation. Something killed my wife! And someone the audience can connect to emotionally. And he's the only one who seems to know what's actually going on. Oh, and then he dies. Spoilers, I guess. Time to meet our new hero, Main Character Man, who has to do a thing to find his family. Okay. He is joined by Exposition Lad, who just stands around and explains things to the people. He also works at some kind of secret agency that investigates monsters? I think? Wait, why didn't these guys hire Bryan Cranston immediately? Why did they let him waste 15 years of his life? How does the government not know about any of this? So Exposition Lad accidentally lets loose a giant flying monster. I believe this is where the movie begins to go south. It just felt so jarring to me when they introduced this whole theme of the monsters. It didn't feel like it fit in the movie. For example, movies like Pacific Rim, Cloverfield, and The Host all had monsters that felt like they were supposed to be there. When I picture this scene next to a scene of Godzilla, I can't even believe that they're from the same movie. Oh yeah, let's get to Godzilla. I feel like they fucked up everything about introducing Godzilla from the start. While Main Character Man is doing something incredibly uninteresting, Exposition Lad says he has an idea on how to defeat the monster. In like 10 seconds, he briefly explains how back in the 50s, someone was doing a submarine thing, and they found Godzilla. They tried to kill him, and it didn't work. And then Godzilla does nothing for a few decades. Then he says Godzilla will fight the monster because of nature restoring the balance. It kind of feels like this movie expects you to know who Godzilla is and why he's a badass. If I never heard of Godzilla and this was my first movie, I would have been like, what the fuck are they talking about? What are they? Who? A giant lizard? Okay. So now let's get to the point of the movie where I feel I disagree with almost everyone. The fight scenes. Or lack thereof. So everybody is saying how cool these fight scenes are, and my response to that is, what fight scenes? A monster will do something, and Godzilla will confront it, and right before they're about to fight, it cuts to black or it cuts somewhere else less interesting. At first I thought, oh, this is cute, they're setting up the big action scene for the end. Oh boy, I can't wait for this one. But then they do that shit like 5 times. So now I'm thinking, okay, this final fight scene has gotta be the best fucking thing ever. It has to be. It has to be something. So after getting his ass handed to him for like 5 minutes, Godzilla then kills both monsters in like 3 seconds. But Mike, what about that awesome scene when he used his fire breath? Wasn't that the most epic awesome thing ever? Oh, you mean that thing that Godzilla does all the time? Yeah, they put that in the movie. Hooray! Godzilla wins! So we're at the end of the movie, and I could not give less of a fuck what main character man has been up to. I guess he found his family. Hooray! So at the very end, Godzilla roars, and then he goes back home, and everybody's happy. The end. Man, what a forgettable movie. Now, I'm fully aware of the original Godzillas, and how in a lot of them there are a lot of scenes of just people talking, and not a lot of Godzilla. But when they fought a lot. Well, that's all I have to say about Godzilla. If you disagree with me, type in the comment section down below, and we'll have an internet fight about whose opinions is wrongers. Goodbye.